The story begins with a school in Korea, where we meet a bully named Jing-sik. Jing-sik was known for his hooliganism and used to beat up many people. Next, we see another boy named Cheolji. Cheolji was a thief and was running away from people. Meanwhile, another bully was a spoiled girl named Hyuna. Hyuna was partying at a club when her father suddenly arrives and catches her and takes her home. In the next scene, we see Jing-sik, Cheolji, and Hyuna together on a boat. It's revealed that their parents have enrolled them in a special school to reform them. But this school was located on a lonely island, far from the city. Well, it turns out these three were rogues, and their plan was to go to the new school and cause a lot of trouble. They disembark on the island by boat and are met by an officer. The island's atmosphere was a bit strange, with pipes leaking gas everywhere. The officer takes the three children to school and brings them before the principal. The school principal was quite a grumpy one, and why wouldn't he be? After all, he had to straighten these rogues out. The three children argue with the principal, but the principal silences them with a befitting reply. The principal bluntly threatens everyone that if they don't follow the school rules, they won't be well. The principal sends Jin-young-sik in geology away and gives Hyuna an extra lecture alone, forbidding her from smoking cigarettes or anything else. But then the vice principal enters the room, looking terrified. The vice principal was telling the principal about an animal fight, and the principal's pet dog had died in the fight. Upon hearing this, the principal, enraged, immediately runs to check on his dog. Meanwhile, the vice principal further reprimands Geology and Jing-sik. He hadn't exactly liked the school environment, and it was clear that the children were treated harshly to improve. The principal then goes into the woods and meets with the officer and two other teachers. The teachers tell him that his dog was killed by a wild animal. The principal becomes extremely angry, grabs the officer's gun, and attempts to shoot the animal, but the animal runs away. As the animal flees, we see the world in red through its eyes. This makes it clear that something is wrong with the animal. A little while later, it's lunchtime. Jing-sik, Cheolji, and Hyuna sit together, having become good friends. They all plan how to escape from this place. Meanwhile, the principal, deeply saddened, buries his dog. The scene then shifts to the officer guarding the island. He finds bloodstains everywhere and numerous pigs emerging from underground near the strange pipes from which the gas was leaking. Inside the dome room, Jing-sik gets into a fight with the other boys in his room. In the ensuing fight, Jing-sik badly beats all his roommates. But then the guidance teacher arrives. The teacher discovers what Jing-sik did. Friends, Jing-sik started this fight to save Geology, but the guidance teacher starts hitting on Geology instead. This enraged Korkana Jing-sik or Jing-sik to Monor, behind the jor karm star pont so. Meanwhile, Hyuna was trying to socialize with the other girls in her room, but they were casually insulting each other and trying to drive her away. It was clear that Hyuna wasn't making any friends there. The guidance teacher then locked Cheolji and Jing-sik in a cage as punishment and tortured them severely. The next day, during class, the boys in Jing-sik's room hatch a plan to take revenge on him. Hyuna, left alone, starts leaving her food. For this simple reason, the guidance teacher catches her and starts beating her. The vice principal immediately stops the teacher because Hannah's father was very wealthy. And now those strange pigs have appeared in the school garden. A little while later, when he returns to school, he finds his dog's grave dug, causing him to cry in grief. The other teachers come and console the principal, but whoever dug the grave ate the dog. The principal is now determined to kill the animal, so he goes to the storage room with the other teachers and they all pick up a variety of weapons. Everyone then runs off to the forest to kill the animal. Only the guidance teacher is left in the school. The teacher comes and takes a class for the rogue students, beating them when they fail to solve math problems. During class, the other teachers are seen outside the window. Those who had captured the animal were fighting it in the garden, and the animal was also a pig. At the same time, Cheolji and Jing-sik also return to class. While Hyuna is doing a question on the blackboard, blood starts oozing from the blackboard. This means something is hidden behind the blackboard, and right there in the garden, the pig bites the principal. The guidance teacher now starts beating the children in class again, severely beating Jing-sik and Hyuna. But Geology knocks the guidance teacher unconscious by hitting him with a chair. Meanwhile, all the teachers rush the principal to the medical room as he has fainted. The nurse immediately treats the principal. The vice principal finds the guidance teacher also in the medical room, as he too had fainted after Geology's beating. Suddenly, the principal regains consciousness and tells him to take him to the office. Everyone takes him to the office. But friends, strange blood is coming out of him. This means he's now infected. At the principal's request, the vice principal puts on music in the office, but the principal is now asleep. Everyone leaves the principal. The nurse then arrives to administer glucose to the principal, but then the principal awakens, having become a zombie. A girl sees all this from outside the office and tries to call out to the nurse, but she can't save the nurse, and the demonic principal attacks her. After seeing all this, the girl runs away and tells the rest of the class what's happening. All the students rush to the principal's office to check everything, but they run into the guidance teacher who has regained consciousness. The guidance teacher scolds all the students and sends them back to their room. But just then, another teacher emerges from the principal's office, having been bitten on the nose. Seeing her, the guidance teacher goes into the office to check on her. A zombie nurse attacks her. The guidance teacher somehow manages to escape, but the nurse now pursues the students. All the students hide in the classroom and escape out the window. Meanwhile, the zombie nurse attacks the vice principal and another female teacher. The vice principal escapes, but the zombie nurse kills and eats the teacher and turns him into a zombie as well. As the vice principal flees, he encounters the students in the class. All the students complain to him about what happened, and the vice principal takes everyone to a safe room. On the way, they are attacked by zombies. But finally, they reach a secure, locked classroom. The vice principal tells the children that they must call for help. However, they don't have a phone. So after dark, they are going to go outside and look for it. As night falls, a zombie attacks them through a window, forcing them to flee without a plan. But a girl is left behind, and the zombie immediately kills and eats her. Everyone runs and hides in a basement. They ask the vice principal what is happening, but the vice principal has no answer. It's clear that if this disease spreads beyond the island, the entire world will end. Then the vice principal remembers an old story. We learn that before the school was built, there were many pigs living on this island, and they were poisoned and buried everywhere underground. There were so many pigs that they had to install pipes underground to release the gas from the ground. And now perhaps some disease has developed within those pigs, which has spread across the island. Furthermore, the pig carcasses were so numerous that they hid many of them behind the classroom blackboards, which is why we saw blood coming out of the blackboards. In any case, we don't see Jung-sik during all this because he had gone to the principal's office to retrieve his phone. Jung-sik finds the phone there, but then the principal's zombie enters the office, settling down. Jung-sik hides from the principal, but a short while later the guidance teacher who had turned into a zombie arrives, following the principal, and spots Jung-sik. The zombie immediately attacks Jung-sik and Jung-sik barely escapes. Jung-sik manages to get his phone and return to the basement, and Hyena embraces him because, well, he's starting to like him. The vice principal calls for help, but obviously the phone is out of network. They plan to have Jung-sik, Geology, and Hyena go to the upper floor of the school to call someone, while everyone else goes to the kitchen to find food. So everyone grabs their weapons and leaves the basement. But the vice principal and a girl remain in the basement. They stop because they're scared. The scene now shifts to Geology, Hyena, and Jung-sik, who go upstairs and try to call their phone. But the phone still doesn't work. Meanwhile, the rest of the class has gone to the kitchen to gather food. Geology then leaves, leaving Hyena and Jung-sik in the classroom. They develop a romantic relationship and kiss. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, the children are having dinner when they are attacked by zombies, who capture and eat almost all of them, turning them into zombies as well. Only one boy survives, who picks up a weapon and kills them all with it. But the number of zombies keeps increasing, so he too is killed in the end. The scene shifts back to the basement, where Geology, Jung-sik, and Hyena have returned. They are planning their next move when the principal's zombie arrives and attacks them. In the ensuing fight, the vice principal stabs the principal's zombie with a rod, but then a massive horde of zombies arrives, attacking all the people. Everyone fights and kills the zombies. But only Geology and Hyena survive the battle, as Jing and the others are killed one by one. Fighting the zombies, they try to escape, but there are too many. In the ensuing fight, Geology gouges out one zombie's eye, and they decapitate another. The three somehow manage to escape and get into a car. But before Geology can get into the car, he is grabbed by a zombie. In an attempt to save Geology, Jung-sik turns the car around. But a zombie comes in front of the car, and the car overturns. The zombie tries to get in again, but the hyena knocks it out with an axe. And now Jung-sik escapes the car and runs to save Cheolji. But by the time he reaches Cheolji, it's too late, because a zombie has bitten Cheolji. Cheolji starts crying because he didn't want to turn into a zombie. But then Cheolji starts shaking, meaning that now he too will become a zombie. Jung-sik is forced to leave Cheolji and run. But then the hyena attacks Jung-sik, because friends, the hyena had also turned into a zombie. Seeing this, Jung-sik is devastated. He tells the hyena to fight this disease, and after a little persuasion, the hyena actually begins to calm down. She slowly returns to normal, which means that in this zombie apocalypse, humans can recover. But then from the school rooftop, an officer shoots the hyena, killing her instantly. This leaves Jung-sik heartbroken. At the same time, the officer is also captured and killed by a zombie on the rooftop. But now Jung-sik is enraged. He goes and fights the principal's zombie, and in the end, he blows up the zombie with a bomb, because he was the one who started it all. The next day, Jung-sik buries the hyena's body and heads home, only to find the blackboard in the classroom shattered, revealing the corpses of pigs. In the final scene, Jung-sik returns home, but he brings Cheolji's zombies with him, caged. This means the disease will spread everywhere, one way or another. In the final scene, we see Korea from above, where buildings begin to explode, signifying the zombie apocalypse has fully begun.